What is responsibility without authority? It's slavery. And then to compound that and make it even worse, what ends up happening is if I lose a kid.
Why did you just compare that to slavery?
Unpopular opinion. I think single mothers are recreational use only. And the reason for that is because as a man, you don't really get much benefit dating a single mother, but you get a lot of responsibility, especially if something serious were to come of that relationship. And you can't basically you have a bunch of responsibility for a child that isn't yours with zero authority. If Junior decides to be disrespectful or whatever, I can't discipline him the way that I want.
You're not my dad.
Yeah,
bro.
he's gonna say some bullshit like that. I can't slap him. I can't fucking tell him you fucking retard. What the hell is wrong with you? I can't discipline him the way that I want because he does have a father, and or the mother might have an issue with me disciplining him a certain way. So he's not my biological child. I don't have any real authority over him, yet I have responsibility. And what is responsibility without authority? It's slavery. And then to compound that and make it even worse, what ends up happening is if I lose a kid.
Why did you just compare that to slavery?
She was triggered.
What is that?
Okay, did you hear what I said a second ago?
Well, why did you compare it to slavery, though? You couldn't have compared it to something else.
What was the quote that I said?
Why did you compare it to slavery?
What was the quote that I said?
Why did you compare it to slavery?
What was the quote I said specifically?
Repeat the quote. I was just so triggered by slavery.
Fantastic. So you literally heard slavery, just spoke, didn't know in what context.
Can you repeat?
No.
Oh.
I mean,
he's saying that having a woman that has a child is all responsibility, and he can't act the way he would act with his own child.
I mean, it depends on how long you've been with the woman.
Doesn't matter. That maternal instinct of you ever punishing her kid that's not your kid.
It's incredible.
Kicking right away.
You just got triggered at slavery. Like, okay, I'll repeat it for you, but for the rest of the podcast, please listen before you get triggered. Okay. This is what I mean when I say women lack emotional intelligence a lot of the times. Just act out. This is what it comes down, or excuse me, emotional restraint.
I think everybody does, though.
Women more so.
Yeah,
because
you're a little emotional.
I think men.
No, I'm not.
I think
you are.
Thank you.
I think I've been pretty calm and articulating my arguments very well. And you guys don't really have responses for them. And you're
not in the
angry,
beginning.
that's fine.
You get a little snappy.
I mean,
I'm actually very happy.
I mean, when you guys are trying to cut him off and talk over him, then it's very annoying. So let him finish first before you have your snarky remarks. And
I think I've been pretty calm for you know debating four girls that are making nonsensical arguments, but that's fine.
Yeah.
What I said was authority. Excuse me. I said responsibility with no authority is slavery.
Can you agree?
No.
Why not?
What is slavery?
Slavery is
Here we go.
Working.
Okay.
With no what is it? What's the word? With no recommend, no compensation, no nothing.
Okay. So what is that?
But that's not a good comparison.
It's a fantastic comparison.
Exactly what he just said.
But I mean, first of all,
you're responsible for something with zero authority over it.
So you feel like you're working and you compare it to slavery. If you're supposed to love this woman and you're taking care of her kids and you feel like you can't discipline her kids, you compare it to slavery?
Yes, because I am responsible for taking care of this child. I'm responsible for paying for
Well, get a new job then. Get a new job. Get a new job. That's not slavery. That shouldn't be considered slavery.
It is slavery because you can't get a new job. You are the father that's in place that can't do anything. It's literally slavery.
But who said you couldn't do anything? Who said you couldn't do anything? That's how you feel.
The government.
That's how you feel.
If you had a kid, right? You met a guy.
No. Hold on. Do you not? With all due respect, do you not hear yourself?
First of all, I do hear myself. I grew up with a stepfather who actually put in place a parental guidance, so he was able to.
Was he able to discipline you the way that he wanted? Fantastic.
Yes, he
but
was.
Guess what? For most stepfathers, they can't. That's my point. Being a stepfather, a lot of the times is you're responsible for everything. You're paying for everything. You got to protect everything. However,
that's the role
you don't have. Hold on, stop. But you don't have the authority to discipline the child that you want a lot of the times. And then on top of that, if the girl decides to leave you, you no longer have rights to that child because it's not your biological kid. So not only did you lose your woman, but you also lost children that you built a bond with. So what I am saying is responsibility without authority is slavery. In your example with your stepfather, he had authority. Fantastic. He's not a slave, but a lot of guys are. That's what I'm speaking about.
Why get in something if you feel like you're going to be a slave?
That's why I tell guys not to do it.
That's the whole point. Avoid it. You're right.
Don't do it if it's not something.
Ladies,
that you're willing to
during the course of this podcast, you cannot use your own personal experiences or I know this and I know that to speak about generalities of how the world works.
Okay.
That's a very low IQ tactic. I've seen a couple of you guys do that, but that's just not how it is. Like, for example, let me show you how dumb you guys sound when you say that. No offense, but I have to say this because I really don't want the conversation to get, pulled off to the side over stupidity. If one of you were to tell me, hey, world hunger is a thing, there's people starving in Africa, and I responded to you, world hunger isn't real. All me and my friends, we all eat. Wouldn't I sound like a moron? No, for real. I would sound absolutely stupid, wouldn't I? That is exactly what you guys do every single time I say a general fact, and you say, but I know this. I don't give a fuck what you know. The reality is it still exists despite your personal experience. So use common sense and understand that the world doesn't revolve around you, your friends, and your personal experiences. Because your personal experiences might not necessarily reflect reality. Cool? Thank you. Holy.